Now, okay, listen carefully. Today I am repeating the classification of living organisms once again, and all of you look at that. How we can classify the living organism? According to classifying, we have classified living organisms into two categories. One is plants and other is animals. There are many varieties of animals and plants on this earth. You all know that. And it is not easy to learn or to study about each and every plant and animal separately. So it is a tough job to study them and to recognize them. So it is essential to classify them according to their common characteristics. Some common characteristic. According to that common characteristic, we have divided into particular groups, and that group is plants and animals. And plants also, we have classified the things into different categories: herbs, herbs, and trees to recognize them easily. Now we are starting the topic classification of plants. How we classify the plants on the basis of height, size, and shape. On the basis of height, size, and shape, plants can be divided into three categories: herbs, shrubs, and trees. Now listen it carefully one by one, and this is a quite important topic, and sometimes definitions are also asked from this topic. First is herb. Herbs are very small plants that you every day found around your house or in your kitchen garden. The height usually ranges from few centimeters to about 1 meter. They have soft and green stems. Vegetables, examples are vegetables and grasses, and many flowering plants are the some of the common examples of herbs. Vegetables, grasses, and many plants are some of the common examples of herbs. So the first one is herbs. Herbs are very small plants and their stems are soft and green. Their height range from few centimeters to 1 meter. Example, vegetables and grasses. Now the second one is shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized plants, usually having height of 1 meter to up to 3 meters. They are bushy in appearance, means फैले हुए होते हैं, and have hard and woody stems. Some of the few common examples of shrubs are rose and cotton plants, and some uncommon shrubs are also present. They can attain height up to 6 meter to 8 meters, but they are the exceptional. Rarely they are found, but exceptions are always found. Now the trees. Trees are tall and large plants. They have strong and woody stems. Neem, peepal, mango, and apple trees are some of the well-known examples of trees. Trees are tall and large plants. They have strong and woody stems. Neem, peepal, mango, and apple trees are some of the well-known examples of trees. So, on the basis of classification, plants are divided on the basis of height, shape, and size. Banana is a tall plant, but it is also a herb because the stem is underground, as in ginger, and trunk consists of leaf bases rolled over one another. And being a big plant, but still it is a banana. That is the exception. A classification on the basis of the lifespan. On the basis of lifespan, plants can be classified into three categories: annuals, biennials, and perennials. Annuals means annual plants survive for only 1 year or one season. Many seasonal flowering plants, vegetables, and crops are some of the examples of annual plants. Now the biennial plants. Biennial plants live for 2 seasons. In first year, they have full vegetative growth, and in second year, they bear flowers and fruits. Carrot, radish, and turnip are some of the examples of biennial plants. Perennial plants. Perennial plants live for many years. They produce flower and fruits many times in their lifespan. Mango tree, guava tree, and neem tree are the few examples of perennial plants. Now, have you understood, all of you? On the class basis of their lifespan, plants are divided into three categories: annuals, biennials, and perennials. On the classification on the basis of their height, size, and weight, plants are categorized into three groups: herbs, shrubs, and trees. Now, on plants are classified on the basis of flowers. There are a number of plants on the earth. Some plants bear flowers, while others do not bear flowers. Plants which bear flowers are called flowering plants. Example: mango, rose, sunflower, grasses are some of the common examples of flowering plants. Non-flowering plants. Non means opposite to the flowering plants. The plants which do not bear flowers are called non-flowering plants. Example: algae, mosses, mushrooms, and ferns are some of the examples of non-flowering plants. So, what is there? A question should be asked: what is the difference between flowering and non-flowering plants? Then also you can reply the answer that plants which bear flowers are called flowering plants, and plants which do not bear flowers are called non-flowering plants. Example: mango tree, neem tree, grass. Non-flowering plants: algae, mosses, mushrooms, and ferns are non-flowering plants. Now I have given you activity also, that name the few plants. Write either it is herbs, shrubs, or trees, annual, biennial, or perennial, or either it is flowering or non-flowering plant. Have you done it? Anyone done it? The home those who have not done, please do it in your classwork copy. Classification of plants on the basis of their habitat. What is habitat? In class 4 and 5, and the first chapter, I have given you the definition of habitat. Have you remember that? Ah, In common language, habitat is a place where all living things live comfortably. Comfortably means according to their need, according to their efforts. That is known as habitat. A place where plants or animals live or get food or interact with the environment is called its habitat. Habitat, our habitat is house where plants and animals live to adapt themselves according to the habitat. The habitat may be terrestrial, aquatic also. Terrestrial means the plants or animals living on land are called terrestrial animals or terrestrial plants. And aquatic plants, the plants which grow in water or the animals which grow in water are called aquatic animals, and the plants which grow in water are called aquatic plants. That you also have studied in class 4. Terrestrial or land habitat can be desert also, mountains or grasslands. Aquatic habitat, ponds, rivers, lakes and oceans. It differs from place to place. Now, on the basis of the natural habitat, plants can be classified into three categories: mesophyte, xerophyte, and hydrophyte. Mesophyte meso means land. Mesophyte plants grow on land and need moderate amount of water supply for their survival. Mesophytes are plants grow on land and need moderate amount of water supply for their survival. They have medium-sized roots and bear normal green leaves. Some examples of mesophytes are mango tree, apple tree. Xerophytes. Xerophyte plants grow in desert. Xerophyte plants grow in desert and they need very small amount of water for their survival. They have long roots which go deep into the ground. Xerophyte plants having long roots which goes deep into the ground. They bear thin and spiny leaves. They bear thin and spiny leaves which help to minimize the water loss. They bear thin and spiny leaves which help to minimize their water loss. Some examples of xerophytes are cacti and bubble. Some examples of xerophytes are cacti and bubble. The third one is hydrophytes. Hydrophytes 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 plants need maximum amount of water. Hydrophytes plants need maximum amount of water, hence they grow in water. They have either small roots or no roots at all. They bear leaves coated with thin films. This film helps to protect them in water. Some examples of hydrophytes are lotus, water lily, etc. Have you clear, all of you? On the basis of the habitats are categorized into three groups: mesophyte, xerophyte, and hydrophyte. Clear? If any query regarding the topic, anyone has any confusion, please ask me. Then I will proceed. No? Okay. Then listen carefully. On the basis of nutrition, plants can be categorized or classified into two groups: autotroph and heterotroph. What are autotrophs? Autotrophs, auto means self and trophs means to prepare. Auto means self and trophs means to prepare. The plants prepare their food themselves by the process of photosynthesis, and means they are preparing their food self That is why they are called autotrophs. All green plants are belonging to autotrophs because all green plants, you all know that all green plants prepare their own food, and some bacteria are also belonging to this particular group, autotrophs. Now hetero means dependent and trophs means other. Those who are dependent upon others for their food, they are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs plants cannot prepare their own food and they use the food synthesized or prepared by the other plants and animals. So they are called heterotrophs. Hetero means dependent and troph means to prepare or to take. Means they take the prepared food from others and that is why they are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are again divided into two groups or two categories, saprophyte and parasite. What are saprophytes? Main definition will be asked from these topics. What are saprophytes? Define it. Or what are parasites? Define the terms. So you also have to recognize what are saprophytes and what are parasites. Saprophytes are plants which feed upon dead and decaying bodies or matter. Saprophytes are plants which feed on dead and decaying bodies or matter. Examples are mushroom and fungus are the common examples of saprophyte plants. Now the next is parasites. What are parasites? Parasites are plants that feed on other living bodies. Parasites are plants that feed on other living bodies and examples are dodder and orchids are the some of the examples, common examples of parasite or parasitic plants. So on the basis of nutrition, plants are classified into two groups. Classification of plants on the basis of nutrition. Plants are classified into two categories, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Further, heterotrophs are again divided into two groups, saprophytes and parasites. Autotrophs example, mango tree, and all green plants are come in the category of autotrophs. But heterotrophs examples are animals and human beings. And further heterotrophs are divided into two groups, saprophytes and parasites. Saprophytes are plants which feed upon dead and decaying bodies or decaying matter, and some of the common examples are mushroom and fungus. Parasites. Parasites are plants that feed upon other living bodies. Dodder and orchids are the example of parasite plants and example are dodder and orchids. Have you understood what is autotroph and heterotroph? Ah, now classification till now we have classified the plants according first is according to their height, weight and size shape, and according to that plants are classified into three groups, herbs, shrubs and trees. Herbs are very small plants and they have soft and green stems. and their height usually ranges from few centimeters up to 1 meter. Examples are vegetables and grasses. Now shrubs. Shrubs are, I'm revising it, all of you listen who have missed. Shrubs are medium-sized plants having hard and woody stem and having a bushy appearance. Its height is from 1 meter up to 3 meters, and common examples are rose and cotton plants. Trees. Trees and tall and large plants have strong and woody stems, and common examples are neem and mango tree. Here, banana is a herb, although it is a very tall plant, but still it comes into the category of herb because its trunk consists of leaf bases rolled over one another, and that is why banana is called a herb. According to the basis of lifespan, plants are categorized into three groups: annual, biennials, and perennials. Now, annuals annuals plants are those which survive for one season or 1 year, and many flowering plants, vegetables, and crops are some of the examples of annual plants. Now the second one, biennial. Biennial plants. These plants live for 2 seasons or 2 years. In first year, they have full vegetative growth, and in second year, they bear flowers and fruits. Carrot, radish, turnip are some of the common examples of biennial plants. Perennial plants. Perennial plants live for many years and they produce flower and fruits many times in their lifetime. Mango, guava, and neem are some of the common examples of perennial plants. Now the third is classification on the basis of flowers. On the basis of flowers, plants are categorized into two groups. First one is flowering plants and the second one is non-flowering plants. Flowering plants, plants which bear flowers are called flowering plants, and examples mango, sunflower, grasses, and plants which do not bear flowers are called non-flowering plants. Algae, mosses, mushrooms, and fern are the examples of non-flowering plants. Classification of plants on the basis of their habitat. You all have studied what is habitat? A place where plants or animals live, get food, and interact with the environment is called their habitat. Plants and animals live and adapt themselves to their habitat. The habitat may be terrestrial or aquatic. Terrestrial means the plants which live on land. They are called terrestrial plants, and the plants which live in water are called aquatic plants. That you have studied in class 4 and 5 also. Terrestrial or land habitats can be desert, mountains, or grasslands. An aquatic habitat may be pond, rivers, lakes, or oceans. On the basis of natural habitat, plants have been classified into three categories: mesophytes, xerophytes, and hydrophytes. Mesophytes are the plants that grow on land and need moderate amount of water supply for their survival. They have medium-sized roots and bear normal green leaves. Some examples of mesophyte are mango tree, apple tree, xerophytes. Plants grow in desert. They need very small amount of water for their survival. They need very small amount of water for their survival. They have long roots which go deep into the ground. They bear thin and spiny leaves which help to minimize their water loss. Some of the examples of xerophytes are cacti and bubble. Hydrophytes. Hydrophytes plants need maximum amount of water. Hence they grow in water. They have either very small roots or no roots at all. They bear leaves coated with a thin film, and this film helps to protect them in water. Some examples of hydrophytes are lotus and water lily. I am sending you the question answers of chapter 5 on your WhatsApp group.